All right, so now we've come to a place where, there's been enough steps and enough tips that you should have been able to implement that are starting to give you some momentum. And we've talked about how to break habits, how to break cravings, and yet some of us are still going to come to a place where, we're still torn, basically. On some level, logically, we know that we want health and we know that we want a lean, body like we've talked about, but there's still some side of us that just basically still loves and enjoys food. So the question then is, what if I just love food too much? Because I know that I should want this, I should want health, and I should want this body, and I do. But I just get so much pleasure out of food that I think I want that more. And if you're at that place, then this is going to come to a really good crossroads for you, because you're going to have to basically make a decision. You're going to have to decide, which do you value more? Because they go down two very different roads. I have a client who came to me and said, look, Rebecca, I just love to eat. And I understand that. And especially nowadays in society where we have, so many different experiences that are around food, that we get so much pleasure for it. If you go out to eat at restaurants, social gatherings, family, whatever the case may be, I totally get that there is very good reason to get a lot of pleasure out of food. And for some of us, we have made that the main one and only source of pleasure that we get. And I guarantee you, if that's the one and only source of pleasure that you're getting, you're not going to give it up. So what we've got to ask ourselves is, okay, so I recognize that I'm getting a lot of pleasure out of that now, but I realize I really do need to make that change, because if I don't, I'm going to have some serious consequences, not only in the way that I look, but the way that I feel, health-wise. So what you're going to have to do is, quite honestly, start finding some new loves. You're going to have to start finding some other things that you can incorporate into your life that you enjoy besides food. Because right now, if you're in that place where food is the only place that you're getting pleasure, it's the one and only love that you have. And you're not going to take that away. So before you can take it away and even start to follow through with the other, lifestyle and the diet that we talked about, is you're going to have to find some other things that you can get pleasure from, whether it be taking up a new hobby, whether that means incorporating and engaging more in your family, whether it means, finding a new passion, starting a new business, whatever it means for you, you've got to start finding some other things that you can get some pleasure out of, that you can go to, as opposed to just making food your number one priority. Because I promise you, if it continues to be the top of the list, if it continues to be more important than anything else and your health, that it's not going to go away. Even though you may have the best of intentions, eventually you're ultimately going to go back to the one thing that gives you pleasure from here on out. So just knowing that and taking a good honest look at what it is that you really want, and choosing, although food can be very pleasurable, that it's not the number one love, will make a huge difference in your progress.